Are you feeling anxious or overwhelmed? Feeling this way can feel so uncomfortable, and sometimes it can feel like there's nothing you can do to feel better. Cultivating calm and joy is best accomplished by the small habits that you engage in every single day. And I'm going to be sharing my top 8 daily habits that help you cultivate more calm from within so that you can feel less anxious and less overwhelmed. Hey, I'm Tati. Welcome to Calmly Coping. I'm a licensed therapist and a high-functioning anxiety coach. Each episode, I talk about how to cope with anxiety as an overthinker so you can live a calmer, more fulfilling life. In today's episode, you're going to learn my 8 daily habits to calm anxiety and overwhelm, my favorite grounding technique to instantly calm anxiety, and small tips to help you enjoy your daily life more. Thank you so much for tuning in. I created a free printable PDF with my 8 daily habits to help you calm anxiety and overwhelm. This checklist is helpful so you can reference these habits whenever you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or just so you can reference them to implement them into your daily routine. You can download this checklist at calmlycoping.com/daily, or you can click on the link below if you're watching on YouTube. Staying calm when you have anxiety and you're feeling overwhelmed can be something you have to work on daily. Sometimes you can start feeling anxious or overwhelmed for seemingly no reason, leaving you feeling frustrated, frazzled, irritable, foggy, and not knowing what to do next. So that's when it can really help to have a toolbox of habits or starting off your day with maybe a morning routine that can help you create calm from the start so that you're not starting with a brain that's full of thoughts or full of anxiety, and you're able to set that baseline so that any stress that does come up for the day, you're better able to handle and manage because you've already implemented this baseline of habits that helps you to feel that calm from the start. I find it so helpful to identify these baseline habits that help you function at an optimal level despite what anxiety may bring your way. Ultimately, anxiety can have many causes and triggers, but some of the most common triggers include stress and overwhelm. So when you're able to, like I said earlier, implement these habits from the beginning, then you're in a way protecting yourself so that you don't get so anxious or so emotionally triggered when that stress does come up, because it is going to. So I'm going to be sharing 8 easy things that you can start doing to cope with those feelings of anxiety and overwhelm that might come up during your day. Tip number 1 is to practice self-care. Cultivating a calm and positive mood starts with giving yourself the attention you deserve. Take care of yourself in whatever way helps you feel good. This can help you improve your mood and give you that added protection against anxious thoughts and feelings. Some examples of self-care include exercise, eating healthy, relaxing, playing with an animal, going for a walk, meditating, pampering yourself, playing a game, coloring, doing a puzzle or a word search. Put your attention towards anything that helps you feel in the moment and helps you feel good. So self-care can even include waking up early to watch your favorite TV show. I've done this a few times, and it really helps you to feel like you've done something that you enjoy first thing in the morning. And so then that sets the tone for the rest of the day. My movie of choice back when I was doing this was Pretty in Pink. So I would watch like a half hour of the movie in the morning, and because it's one of my favorite movies, it would really help put me in a good mood for the rest of the day. Tip number 2 is to meditate. So I know that you've probably heard to meditate a million times. And the reason why is because meditation is really helpful. And oftentimes people really have a lot of misconceptions when it comes to meditation. The number one misconception that I've heard from my clients is that they think that meditating is clearing your mind of all thoughts. And that's just not true. Maybe there's some forms of meditation that involve that. So the type of meditation that I'm discussing is mindfulness meditation. And mindfulness meditation is just being aware of and observing your thoughts in a non-judgmental way. And so when you're able to do this, this can really help you to bring awareness to the types of thoughts that you have during the day, including the types of thoughts that make you feel more anxious and make you feel more overwhelmed. And so you're able to identify, number one, those repetitive thoughts that you're having throughout the day, because most people have the same thoughts throughout the day over and over again. And then number 2, you're able to stop that cycle from continuing. Much of anxiety originates from your thoughts, behaviors, or your physical sensations, or your emotions. And so being more mindfully aware through meditation can help you catch yourself before this cycle gets worse. You can search YouTube, podcasts, or meditation apps in order to find guided meditations to start with. My favorite app is Insight Timer, and this is a free app that you can do guided meditations, you can do time meditations, and they have different options for sleep, for meditation music. So definitely check it out and see if you can find a meditation that fits your needs. My number 3 daily habit to calm anxiety and overwhelm is to be present. So this is kind of vague, right? Being present in your mind and your body is an immediate way to cultivate feelings of calm. And that's because often when you are feeling anxious, your thoughts are focused on a moment other than right now. So maybe you're thinking about the future, or maybe you're thinking about what could happen if you do this, or what this person is thinking. And these are all thoughts that are outside of this moment and what's going on right now within you and around you. Stop this cycle by learning how to be present. And that brings us to my favorite grounding technique, which is 5-4-3-2-1 grounding. So I'm going to walk you through this technique right now, and it's really easy so that you can implement it whenever you need to. And the great thing about this technique and why I like it so much is that you can do it wherever you are. You don't have to sit down and close your eyes to do a guided meditation. And you can do it with your eyes open without anybody even realizing what you're doing. So like I said, you can do it if you're seated, walking, standing, lying down. The only thing I wouldn't recommend is maybe when you're driving, because it might be distracting. So first, take a deep breath to relax. And I want you to pay attention to 5 things that you can see around you. Name and describe them either out loud or to yourself silently. Next, I want you to pay attention to your body and name 4 things that you can feel. Some examples are, I feel the warmth in my shoes. I feel my feet against the ground. So really name and describe what you're feeling. Next, pay attention to 3 things that you can hear around you. So I hear the traffic outside, the birds chirping, maybe footsteps. To tune into what you can hear. Next, I want you to pay attention to 2 things you can smell. So maybe you smell grass outside, maybe the perfume that you sprayed, maybe it's food that's cooking. So tune into your sense of smell and describe what you're smelling. Lastly, pay attention to 1 thing you can taste and name and describe that to yourself. So maybe it's your minty toothpaste that you brushed your teeth with this morning, or the gum in your mouth, or maybe it's the lingering taste from food you ate earlier. Try and really connect with your sense of taste and describe what you're tasting. So when you're doing this, be as specific as possible when you're describing the sensations for each step. This technique is excellent to use if you're experiencing a panic attack, intrusive thoughts, anxiety, overwhelm, or anything that's causing you to feel stressed. The great thing is that you can do it by yourself and nobody has to know what you're doing. So again, what I walked you through was naming 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Now, after doing this, if you were able to follow along, I want you to notice, how do you feel now? Do you feel any differently after going through that exercise than you did before? My 4th daily habit is to practice gratitude. So I have an entire podcast episode about gratitude, which is 5 minutes daily to a happier mindset. So definitely go check that out if you haven't. Essentially, what you focus on grows bigger. So if you focus on all of the disappointments in your life, on all of the things that are overwhelming you, on everything that's making you feel anxious, that's how you're going to feel. On the other hand, if you're able to recognize all of the things that you already have to feel grateful for, then that's going to help you feel more grateful, more optimistic, and more positive. So one easy way to practice gratitude is to make a list of 5 things that you're grateful for daily and to really experience the gratitude and those feelings that thinking about these things bring up for you. Start by focusing on the little things. The time you spent on the couch relaxing watching your favorite show, the sound of the birds chirping outside, the beautiful weather, the feeling of the wind against your face when you go for a walk. The more you pay attention, the more you will see. My 5th daily habit is to journal. Getting out and processing your thoughts, emotions, fears, and worries can help you have a healthy outlet so that these thoughts aren't bothering you throughout your day. The act of getting things out on paper can help you get them out of your head. If you're interested in an entire podcast episode on journaling, definitely leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube or send me a DM at TatianaGLPC and I can create an episode all about journaling. Daily habit number 6 is to get enough sleep. Now, this isn't really a habit that you're going to be doing during the day, but it's something that you do obviously the night before to set you up for the next day. Sleep has such a huge impact on your mood and your mental health. Not getting enough sleep can make anxiety worse, increase stress, and decrease your overall mood. Prioritize getting the amount of sleep that your body needs. Now, the average amount for adults is between 7 and 9 hours, but again, that can be different for everybody. There's some people who may not need as much sleep, and there's some people who might need more sleep. And so it's really important to pay attention to your body and your needs. Think about implementing a sleep routine or relaxation habits before bedtime if you have trouble getting to sleep. My 7th daily habit is to take things one step at a time. Overthinking makes anxiety worse, and that includes thinking ahead about the what ifs, the worst case scenarios, what you could have done differently, or how things could be 10 years from now. You don't have control over any of that right now. Focusing on the very next step can help you prevent anxiety, overwhelm, and help you feel more in control of your life. And my 8th daily habit is to stretch. Emotions are stored physically, including anxiety. So one of those symptoms can be tension in certain areas of your body. Many of my clients commonly report shoulder, upper back, neck, or face tension. Take less than 5 minutes daily to stretch out those problem areas for you. So maybe it's stretching out your jaw, doing some shoulder rolls, or doing a quick yoga routine that's going to help you release that tension that builds up from all of that stress, anxiety, and overwhelm that you're experiencing throughout the day, or that maybe might build up overnight. So that's going to help you release the physical tension, and as a result, it will help you feel calmer. I know it can be difficult to implement every single one of these habits that I mentioned. So that's when it's important to take what works for you and leave the rest. Again, I have that checklist that might help you to view the habits in a list format so that you can then implement the ones that work for you. And you can find that at calmlycoping.com/daily. So the most important part is tuning into your personal needs. I hope these tips were helpful for you. To wrap up, today I talked about the 8 daily habits that help you calm anxiety and overwhelm, my favorite grounding technique to calm anxiety instantly, and my small daily tips to help you enjoy your life more. Your action tip is to implement at least one of these daily tips into your routine each day this week and notice how it makes you feel. Try not to change too much at once, but start with adding just 1 to 2 habits for 1 week and then trying to implement a new habit the next week and notice how it makes you feel. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave me a comment below letting me know what habits help you calm anxiety and overwhelm. And if you found this podcast episode informative, please screenshot yourself listening to it and share it to your Instagram stories, tagging me at TatianaGLPC. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube so you get notified every time I release a new episode. I release new episodes every Wednesday. Please subscribe and leave me a review on iTunes if you're listening to the podcast. Until next time, be calm.